What's up, traders? Going 5 for 5 technically. One was kind of break even. We're going to jump right into these. Momo being our first trade. This one was, I believe, one of the, I think, 3 trades that I wouldn't normally have taken. This is actually 2 trades. And the reason I wouldn't normally take this trade is because it was double topping into the high set in the pre-market. And you guys know that I don't normally take these, but I've been focusing on if a move happens and it happens fast, like I look for if it were to make a move, say extending away from that previous resistance, say up to like 720, that would be beautiful. But a lot of times we're getting that same move just into these key areas. And I want to start throwing a little bit of risk at these. I'm not going to be taking full size on these because the ability that these may have to continue to make that run up towards 720. However, the odds are a little bit less favorable when it makes this big of a fast move into that area and then struggles to get through those areas. The odds are it's going to attempt some sort of a pullback before it decides to try to continue. And that's exactly what this one did. This trade here was actually the first trade. It was pretty quick. We were in at 9:30, 52 seconds, and we were out at 9:31 exactly. So an 8-second trade. It popped back up through. It kind of did a little bit of a fake out breakout thing through the highs. I jumped back in on the way down. I actually got a bad fill. I thought I was hitting this up at 70. We got filled at, I believe it was 63. Let's get rid of this line here. All right. Oh, I hit it again. There we go. Really don't like DOS when it does that for some reason. Yeah, 63. We ended up taking half off at 61. It actually went all the way down here to 50, and I was looking for the break. I had my order at 45 to take all of it off. However, it jumped right back up. I wasn't about to let this go red against me, so I took half off just in case. It did pop up through, started to come back down. I was going to use 68 as the stop here, which I should have, or 69, 1 cent above that 68 because there was a clear seller there. But it started to move back up. I thought it was clearly going to go higher. However, it did not. It actually did decide to make that move down below, but it did end up going higher after that, and it stayed up there. So pretty good trade there on Momo. Not going to complain about that one. Rent was the next one. This was another one, same kind of scenario where it was a really nice move off the bottom into a previous area. And I wouldn't normally take this. I would be looking for that 220 area and, at least up to 2, looking for that previous resistance and extension away from it. However, again, didn't quite get that, but it was a nice move into that area. So it took a smaller starter, just throwing some risk at it. So if it does decide to actually move, we can actually, build a position into it with some more size up where we normally would start this. And that's where we would get most of our size. Sure, we wouldn't have the average we would have if we waited to start, but we also would never get this trade that we ended up with had we not started it. So that's the idea, is there's a lot of these that they just work when they get to these key areas. And I'm just trying to accumulate some of these trades. So that was the first 3 trades. Then we had BHC, sorry. BHC was our next one. This one, if the volume was a little bit better, I probably would have thrown some bigger size at this one. The range wasn't that great either. But as you can see, previous resistance, this is a trade you'd see me normally take. We get a nice move up through a $0.50, around almost 20 cents through it. It started the struggle closer to 760, and then it did end up hitting 770 exactly right after we got in. Started to come back down, took some off going into that 750 area. So this one is one that we'd normally take. However, the volume wasn't that great when we got in, so we went a little bit smaller on the share size. And then our last one was on CFLT, and this one is another one that we would normally take. So the difference between CFLT and those first 2, you could see that area from yesterday, the high 2166. But if you look at these candles, it was kind of a grinder up to that area, right? And then we finally get a nice big candle here. However, the total volume on the day, if you look at the volume, it was around 300,000 or so, I think total. If I scroll out, you can kind of see it. So there was not a lot of volume when I got into it. It was like 350,000 total, I think. So that is what caused me to use a smaller size on this trade. So there's always factors into why my sizing is what it is. And until I get those trades where I know that my edge is an A quality type setup, I'm not going to throw any real size at it. But as you can see, if we can take 4 or 5 trades that we wouldn't normally take that are subpar setups, but the move is still fast, the odds are it's going to work. But it always has the opportunity to become a real play. I mean, if you guys want any more of an example, you can look at PHVS from today. This thing has went absolutely insane, where it was fast, and pretty much every time it was fast, it did make a pullback. However, you start something that is like a double top area, like here or here or something like that, you can get yourself into some real trouble shorting into those areas. But what do you notice? None of this was fast. The fast move happened up here where it went into the halt, etc. So you should never be in something like this. I personally would never get into something like this. Obviously, don't take anything that I say as trading advice. This is me just explaining how I do things. And so that's the difference. I'm always looking for fast moves. The faster the move, the weaker the trend. I live by those words, and I will keep trading by those words. However, I'm looking for ways to expand my edge into plays where I can throw a little bit of risk at trades that I wouldn't typically take. And so far, the other day it didn't work so well. We ended up with a break-even day, but today it worked out well, and we're gonna keep track of this over on TraderSync's journal. And we're going to see over time if it plays out to where this can be viable, and see if we can keep that edge going strong. So, or edge P&L curve going strong. That's all I got. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave those down below, or you can find the Discord, Twitter links in the description. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.